So it's been a couple weeks since we've posted a video. There's a lot going on behind the scenes at the Clean My Space HQ, and I have been stressed. And one of the things that I have noticed is that when my house is not clean, the stress of the mess adds to my mental load, and then it affects my decision-making capabilities, my mental clarity, and my mood. I don't know if you've had this experience, but I have certainly noticed it. And my feelings of hating cleaning have actually been replaced with my feelings of yearning for cleaning because I want to have a sense of control over my space. And I feel like the most important space to keep clean in my house is the kitchen, because it's the place that I use the most and it's the most multi-purpose place in my house, let's put it this way. So in this video, I want to talk about some of the science that I dug into behind my theory of how a mess can impact your mental health and your mind and all of that stuff. I did a bunch of research that I'm going to get into. I also want to share 2 techniques that I use for cleaning the kitchen, technique for good days and a technique for days where I'm really struggling. So let's dive in. And just a quick reminder, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe to the Clean My Space channel and give this video a thumbs up if you have been feeling like your mental load is just getting a little too heavy these days. So I did some research on this because I knew that there was more to the story. So a study was done at Princeton that looked into the research behind how clutter can affect our mental clarity and our mental capabilities. They looked at how cognitive function was affected, particularly regarding focus and information processing. The research suggested that a cluttered environment competes for your brain's attention, reducing your ability to concentrate on specific tasks. This is because visual stimuli from clutter overloads the brain, making it harder to filter out irrelevant information and focus on what's important. By removing clutter, we can clean to create an environment that supports mental clarity, reduces stress, and enhances overall productivity. And since the kitchen is one of the most used spaces in the home, it is vital to keep clean. Now, why the kitchen? The kitchen is a sanctuary in the home, and by keeping it clean, you create a personal space that offers respite from the stress of the outside world, where the act of cooking, the joy of eating, drinking coffee at the table, or simply being at the kitchen offers you a relaxing experience. So now that we know this, let's review a few key areas in the kitchen that get messy quickly and can lead to that stress. And I'm going to share with you option A for those days where you're feeling a little bit low and like you're struggling, and option B for days where you have a little bit more energy and you really want to get the job done. I'm going to share 4 different areas that I want you to focus on, and I'm going in order of what you should start with to what you should end with. And if you're familiar with the Clean My Space 3-wave system, this will all make sense. And if you want to learn more about the Clean My Space 3-wave system, I've got a link for you down below. So first up, we're going to tackle the sink and the dishes because this is the bottleneck of the kitchen. If your dishwasher is not unloaded, or if you don't have a dishwasher and you hand wash, if your sink is full of dishes, it is impossible to maintain the rest of your kitchen. So that's why we're going to start right there. So option A for those low energy days just involves unloading and loading the dishwasher, or hand washing your dishes and putting them away. And finishing off with a quick rinse of the sink. I know it makes sense to do more and make that sink shiny, but honestly, some days you just don't have it in you. So this is the cursory option. Now option B, those days where you have a little bit more energy, would include scrubbing the sink. So I would use, a paste of baking soda and a little bit of dish soap, or something like Barkeeper's Friend, to really help kind of polish and shine up the sink. I would give it a rinse, I would buff it dry, it would look beautiful. And just a quick mention that over at Maker's Clean, we've got our duo cloth on sale for 30% off and our kitchen cleaning cloth on sale for 25% off. You can check all of the dates and details in the description down below, as well as find a link. I would also, before I clean the sink obviously, clean any ancillary items in the kitchen that needed it. So, any utensils or, any decor items or bowls that just looked grungy or dirty, I would give those a cleaning as well. Next up, we're going to declutter the counters. This area can get very overwhelming. If you look at mine, it's just full of crap. And once the dishes are dealt with, my counter is going to look a lot better, but there's still some work to do. It's a lot of visual clutter. So on your low days, your option A is quite simply removing any items that don't belong in the kitchen. You don't need more than 5 minutes to do this, and giving your counters a cursory wipe. Option B would involve removing everything from the counter, so your small appliances, any decor items, wiping down your counters entirely using all-purpose cleaner and the S pattern. Here I'm using a microfiber cloth from Maker's Clean. Again, I've got a link for that down below. Once that's done, I would pick up any of those small appliances. I would wipe them over the floor because we're going to deal with that later. Same thing with decor items. Any crumbs can fall down to the ground. And then I'm going to replace those items neatly, either in a parallel or perpendicular manner, so that everything looks clean, tidy, and organized. Now we're going to focus on appliances and cabinet fronts. The issue here is that if you notice fingerprints or grimy spots, it starts to pile up and you get this kind of pile-on compounding effect where you see a mess here and a mess here and I got fingerprints and it really can start to play on your mind. So what we're going to do here is figure out how we can eliminate that visual distraction. So option A, those low days, simply involves spot cleaning. If you see a few fingerprints on your refrigerator, you're just going to spray a microfiber cloth, wipe them off. Same thing with stove, same thing with dishwasher. If you notice anything on your cabinet fronts, like someone had ketchup on their finger and then went to open a cabinet door, you're just going to wipe that off quickly. Now option B, where you have more energy, involves a full spray down of your appliances, exterior only, don't worry, we're not going full force here, and wiping them down again using the S pattern with a microfiber cloth, and I've got links to the one I love down below. I would use all-purpose cleaner for this, 2 cups of water, a half teaspoon of dish soap, nothing fancy. And then for cabinet fronts, I would do the same thing. So I would spray them down and give them a wipe. Now, this would take a little bit of time depending on how large or small your kitchen is, but I find the visual consistency of having a nice clean exterior surface of my appliances and cabinets really makes my kitchen sparkle. So the juice is worth the squeeze. Now the last of the 4 steps that you're going to focus on are the floors and the garbage. And in the Clean My Space 3-wave system, this is wave 3. And to me, this is compulsory because it really finishes off the space. If you walk around your kitchen and you notice that there's dirt and stains on the floor and that you have garbage and it's overflowing, that can just add to the overwhelm and the frustration. Also, the user experience of the kitchen really sucks because you walk in, you notice like your feet feel dirty, it smells like garbage in there. So dealing with this stuff really does make a difference. Now on those low energy days, your option A is quite simply to empty the garbage and sweep or vacuum the floors. If you have more energy, you've got more in you, what you can do for option B is to empty out your garbage, your compost, your recycling, kind of do a full clearance of the kitchen, and then not only sweep or vacuum, but also mop the floors. Okay, so my kitchen is immaculate. My ponytail can come out now and I am feeling so much better. And I know it can be difficult to get yourself over that initial hump because I find it difficult to sometimes get started, and especially on those days where you're really struggling to get motivated, it can just feel so hard to even think about getting cleaning done. But what I can tell you is that afterward, I feel so much better now that my kitchen is clean. I feel calmer, I feel clearer, I feel ready to approach my day and get stuff done. And I know it sounds corny, but I'm so glad that I found the research to back up what I think I already knew. So I hope that you found this video helpful, and I would love to know in the comments down below what you do when you are struggling to find motivation to clean. How do you pep yourself up? How do you get yourself in the mood? And what do you do in those small bursts? And let me know in general what you thought of this video and if you found it helpful and interesting. If you want to learn more about the 3-wave system I was talking about and see specifically how it pertains to the kitchen, you can check out this video right over here. And if you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to the Clean My Space channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.